Okay, this is a 1990 Honda CRX.
DX, the base model.
DX, the base model. And it's got this PGM-FI fuel-injected dual point. All right. Programmable fuel-injected. Anyway, we're doing the timing belt and mainly the water pump because the water pump started leaking. Apparently, this engine has only 30-some thousand miles on it or something like that. It
With
was
the timing belt, yeah.
It was an engine you got from Japan or something through Houston or something like
that. Right, reseller in Houston. That because in Japan, because of their strict emissions, the engines are usually switched out no more than 30 or 60,000 miles, somewhere in that range.
Okay. So they have real strict. And so your original engine. Tell us a quick story. What happened to that?
It started losing compression, and instead of boring it out and fixing it,
I
just decided. Well, I found out about these engines that from Japan that only have 30 to 60,000 miles. You never know what you're getting, though. They don't tell you how much they have. But I thought, well, it'll, instead of fixing the old engine and then maybe another 10,000 miles that goes, something else goes wrong with it, I figured this is almost a brand new engine from Japan. We went ahead and switched it out. And that was at, I think, 230,000 miles on this odometer. For my car, I've got 304,000 now.
I got you.
The timing belt was switched out at about 272,000, so it's still good, I think.
Yeah, the belt's so good. It's just the water pump, and I don't think that's an original water pump because we compared it, showing you where the weep hole is and all that stuff, and it's just not the same. And it's definitely the one that's in here right now. The water pump, it's kind of like in there. I'm pointing at it with my finger. Yeah, that one right there. It's leaking from the weep hole that it has. But anyway, so what I wanted to show was just how I go about doing this. I've watched Eric the Car Guy and a couple of other guys online on how they do this. On a Honda engine similar to this, and what really intrigues me is that this is how much. I don't know if I can get this on. If let's see, okay, there you go. That's how much slack it has, and that's normal. I mean, this thing is a top dead center. It's all the lines are perfect. And so just wanted to show people that that is normal. And there's some guys online that say, hey man, that is normal. Now what I like to do, and what a lot of guys don't show is if you can move that up just a bit, to about right there, yeah, is the guy before put all this pink stuff on there, which is fine. He's wanting to see the lines here. And down here, there's a marker down below underneath here. But what I like to do is, to make sure, is I put a silver mark here with a permanent silver marker, and then I draw a line all the way that way, and then I come up here, put another one, kind of arbitrary wherever you want, and put it all the way across. And then you're gonna have to come down here with that light. And then what I do down here is I do the same thing, except I do it like right here, and then right over there. And so what I'm gonna do is I'll transfer those markings to the new belt, so that when I put on the belt here, I know it's dead on. Okay, there's no I'm off by a tooth or I'm off by 2 teeth. No, it's going to be dead on. Okay, and a buddy of mine, Gilbert Ochoa, he was a Volvo and Porsche mechanic. He's the one who he probably learned it from somebody else on how to do that. And you're not hurting the belt. It's not going to deteriorate the belt if you just do that. You can use a white marker. I just happen to use a silver one, and that's how I do it. And then just put it all back together and follow the instructions. You go backward and stuff. So this is about all the video we're going to do, because there's so many guys online that have all these videos on, but I'll just do that part, showing you how we mark that, and then I'll show you all. We'll do another video once I have the new belt on, and we'll go through the motions and stuff, just to make sure it's on there right. The other thing, what else are we? Oh, the radiator. So just so that you guys know what was happening to this car, and I may have already made a video, but I'll just say it again on this one. What was happening and what's happening, I can get in real close there, and y'all can see how the lip right here, I'll move my finger a second, the lip is not perfect. It's like, I don't know if it's corroded or if it's the plastic is, it's just, yeah, it's kind of hard to say it's corroded because the plastic kind of doesn't corrode, right? Metal corrodes, but it's not perfect. It's not perfectly round around in there. And what was happening to this car was you would lose fluid after a while. And one day, after us banging our head, I don't know, God, it must have been the fourth alternator.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
on this car.
Yeah, don't buy them from the. Try to get an original Honda one if you can, because all these aftermarket ones, most of them, they're just junk.
But anyway, what happened was he brought it in, and I don't know why I heard a hissing sound, so I lowered my ear, and the hissing sound was coming from here. Once the car cooled down, we noticed that this rubber, because it's messed up, because this little ring here is messed up, that's where you were losing a lot of the fluid through and stuff. And several guys online say that if these cars lose the fluid and the fluid doesn't cover the temperature sensor, then you have a high idle, like 1,200 RPMs up to 1,500 RPMs, and that's exactly kind of what was happening.
Yeah, when I was driving over here today, turned off the AC, no lights. It was at 1,500.
Yeah, and it's low on fluid.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line. Okay, so I'm going to stop there.
And we do. Okay.
We do. Yeah, he did get another one that looks almost exactly like this, and you got it from who?
Mishimoto.
Mishimoto.
I had somebody named Brian. I didn't get his last name, and the other guy was Terrell, something like that. Yeah, they because the one they sell is for either automatic or manual. My car's this car's a manual. 5-speed manual. So they said it would work. It's supposed to be just a drop in. So we'll see
find out
if it does that, but I'm optimistic.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. And I know I had told you this before. Toyota does something weird where you can actually remove this.
And replace it?
Yes, it screws into the side.
That'd be nice.
And you can, man, that would have been so nice if that was the issue with this one.
Yeah, because otherwise the radiator
is still in good shape.
Yeah, it's
in real good shape.
We'll show it once we get it out, but yeah, it would have saved me. Well, I got this one. I don't know why they have it so cheap. It's normally 114 for the Mishimoto radiator.
Here, let's bring it over here and let's just kind of we can just kind of show them how it comes in here. So replacement Mishimoto. Oh, made in China. Hey.
Yep.
I think everything, even the cardboard's probably made in China too. So it looks like it's, factory.
Yeah.
So the only issue I'm thinking we're going to have is mainly it came with those, I'm pointing it with my finger, with those pipes down there for the automatic transmission, and we're hoping that the bar that's underneath the car where this goes down doesn't hit that. If it does, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
We may have to turn them to the side or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there.
All right.
But, okay, so we managed to get the timing belt, the new one, on. And there is considerably less slack. Let me see if I can show y'all. Yeah, there's considerably less slack on it. And I think, I don't know, we're making an assumption here, but let me just show you the tensioner. So the tensioner here has this guy right here that goes on a little pivot, and I don't think this guy was on that pivot. Just my, but anyway, and that pivot is, the belt comes around. It's like this goes up like that, the belt comes around here, and then the spring comes this way, so it's really pushing up that way and taking up a lot of the tension. I can show you, it's hard to see here, but that pivot is going to be, let me see if I can get something. The pivot point is going to be way back down in there. Let me see if I can go from here. It's like way back underneath here somewhere. Okay, it's underneath there. It's kind of hard to see. And then you can see where, let me get the light over here. And so you can see where again, I'll just have to point with this guy. You can see where way back here, I don't know if you can see the point there. See if I can get better light in there. Come on. Play nice here. Man, it's so hard to do this. Alright, maybe I can do that right there. Yeah, that's a lot better, I think. It stays. Yeah. Alright, so there's the tensioner way down there, with the spring coming all the way up to right about right there. And so it's really pulling, and it's taking off a lot of the slack. So I don't know, we're making an assumption that the last one on here, the last tensioner was not on that pivot. So, all right, that's what we're going with. And so now it's just a matter of just putting all this back together and everything lined up. Let's see if I can get my light to stay. These guys lined up. This is the new belt. And then down here at the bottom, if I can get this to stay. And let's see. Yep. And so that lined up right there. That lined up. And then also the mark. Let me see if I can get my camera. I know this is kind of hard here with the camera. And the mark right up here. This mark, it's kind of in pink there, but right there where my finger is, it definitely lines up also. So we're putting it back together, and then well, I guess we can show when it's running. All right, so this is our little journey in this, and we're hoping that this car can be on the road a couple of more 100,000 miles in tonight. Today's Saturday, the 24th, 2023, November 24th, right after the day after Thanksgiving. So, all right, we'll see you guys. Bye. All right, this is a better shot. You can actually see the pivot right back there, and then there's the other side that's pushing that up, and it's taking up a lot of the slack here. It's amazing. But that's it. And there's supposed to be a washer right there behind this, but apparently the last tech that did this didn't put the washer in there. So we're not putting that washer in, right? On the tensioner, Rudy? I'm telling them that.
Well, I'm wondering if you have an extra one, maybe we should put it in, or
I don't have one, man. I don't have one that's that big. But anyway, so yeah, the pivot's back there, and here's where the spring goes, and man, it's nice. Fits nice. So that's the story. That I'm sticking to it. All right, later. Okay, so one of the things I do is I mark the timing belt, the old one. Okay, and then I bring the new one, set it on top, transfer the marks over, I use these big old clips here to hold it. And then I make sure everything's lined up, going all the way to this guy. Then I transfer that mark. And then same thing on this side. I make sure everything's lined up, and then I transfer. Get over here, and then I transfer that mark. And so I know that they're going to be, they got to be dead on those marks. Do you need to do this? No, but I do. So anyway, all right. Hope that helps some people. By the way, this is down by the crankshaft. This one over here, God, I think it's the bank near the firewall, and then this one over here was front of the engine, right there. All right.